Good afternoon. Welcome to Chair Yoga. My name is Monica Bright, and I'm excited to be with you guys again this Wednesday afternoon. So, we will use a chair for chair yoga today, um, but we will also do some things standing up during our time together. So, just want to make sure that you get a stable and strong chair with no arms on the side so that your arms can be free. And for the surface that your chair sits on, if you are on a surface that's kind of slippery, maybe it's wood floors or something, just make sure you have something underneath your chair so that it doesn't slide around. And if you are on carpeted surfaces, then um, you should be fine in your chair. So you want to make sure that when you sit in your chair, you scoot your hips all the way back. So we're going to start seated and then we'll stand up and do a few things standing up and then come back to seated. But just so that we can center ourselves and get grounded, we'll sit with our hips all the way towards the back of your chair and with the back of your torso or the back of your rib cage rested against the back of your chair. You're going to take your hands and put your hands on your thighs. Just let your fingers be forward. And if they want to fan open, that's fantastic. Just let that happen. With the palms of your hands down on your thighs, just feel the weight of your hands on your thighs. Notice the temperature of your palms on your thighs. Do your hands feel chilly? Do they feel warm? Do they feel hot? Sometimes the palms of my hands have different temperatures, so just notice. Now take your palms together to touch in front of you and just to warm the surface of your palms, you slide your hands forward and back. And as you rub your palms together, right, notice that the temperature starts to intensify, it gets a little bit warmer. And then take your hands and put your hands back down on your thighs and notice if you feel a difference. And feel your shoulders. Just notice if your shoulders round forward. Can you try to pull your shoulders back so that your shoulders sit right on top of your hips? And then notice if your chin is in front of your chest, can you pull your chin back just a little bit so that your skull is right in line with your shoulders and your hips? Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Do that one more time. Deep breath in and breath out. Now take a look at your right hand. Just look down towards your right thigh. And then gaze at your right pinky. And can you lift your pinky away from your thigh? Then lower it back down. And switch to your ring finger. Can you lift it away from your thigh? Then lower. Now your middle finger, lift it. Put it down, lift your index finger. Lower it and then lift your thumb. Then lower your thumb. Now to your left hand, look at your left pinky, lift it. And lower. A ring finger, notice if it's a struggle to lift your ring finger or if it lifts freely. Then lower it. Now your middle finger, just let it rise. Lower it down. Point your finger, lift it. And then your thumb. Lower your left thumb back down towards your thighs. Then lift both pinkies away from your thighs. Lift your ring fingers, the middle finger, first finger and your thumb. So just the palms of your hands rest on your thighs. Then take your thumbs and put them down. First finger, second, third, and your pinky finger. Do that one more time, just with the pinkies on your ring finger, middle, and index finger, and then your thumbs. And then take your thumbs down. First finger, second. Can you keep your ring finger up? Now lower your ring finger, and then your pinky finger all the way down. Now just make fists with your hands. So ball your hands up into a fist. Take your arms down by your sides. Hold the fist. Breathe in. When you exhale, relax the fist. Just let your arms hang. Do it again. Squeeze your hands into a fist. Hold it. Maybe feel the muscles tense in your arms. And on the exhale, relax that. This time, when you make fists with your hands, bend your elbows, then draw your fist forward. So keep your elbows by your rib cage. You can even squeeze them closer if you want to. So then open your fists out. Keep the fist though. And then close the fists back towards one another. Do that one more time. Open. And then close. Then this time, when you open, now spread your fingers wide. Can you expose your palms forward towards the front? And as you spread your fingers wide, maybe you feel the stretch of the webbing in between the fingers. Now this time, take your palms together to touch in front of you. And then lift your thumbs towards your chest. Stay right here. Breathe in. And breathe out. Lace your fingers in front of you. And when you do, flip your palms forward and press your palms forward towards the front of your space. Keep your arms straight and just shrug your shoulders to your ears so that you feel less space between your shoulders and your ears. And then take your shoulder blades and slide them down your back so that your shoulders lower. We'll do that 2 more times. Lift and then lower. Once more, lift your shoulders up and exhale, lower. Now push your palms even further away from you. Stay where you are. I'll turn towards the side so that now you start to feel this stretch across your upper back, and maybe you feel it across the back of your shoulders. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. You'll feel your arms get shorter. They even look shorter as you pull. And then do it again. Push forward towards the front, but try not to take your head with you, right? Just articulating at your shoulder blades. Squeeze your shoulder blades back. And do that one more time. Just press your palms forward towards the front. And then squeeze and pull back. Flip your palms back towards you. Bring your hands to your heart center. And then take your arms down to your sides and place your hands on your thighs. Just stay right here. Flip your palms up towards the ceiling. Try to press your thumbs down. So just notice if you feel this stretch around your forearms. And then take your palms and turn your palms back down towards your lap. You might feel the stretch sensation just dissipate. Do it again. Flip your palms up. Try to keep your elbows close, right? Try to press your thumbs down so you open your palms even more towards the ceiling, and then turn your palms back down towards your thighs. I'm going to do that one more time. Just flip your palms up. And then turn your palms down. Now this time, when you flip your palms up towards the ceiling, so you start with a bend in your elbows, right? But then we'll straighten your arms forward towards the front. So lift your hands and reach forward towards the front, and then bend your elbows and bring the backs of your hands back to the top of your thighs. Just pull back. You do it twice more. Just reach your arms forward towards the front, arms straighten as you lift. And exhale, bend your elbows. Place your hands back down. Do it one more time. You just reach your arms forward to the front. Lift. And then on the exhale, just take your hands back down by your sides or your thighs. And then turn your palms down towards your thighs. Now take your hands to your chair and scoot your hips forward a little bit more towards the front of your chair so just that the soles of your feet touch the ground completely and you feel supported by your floor. And take your right arm down by your side. And reach your right arm forward towards the front. And just take arm circles here. Take your right arm and sweep it down towards the back. And then again, reach your arm forward towards the front. And then circle. And maybe you just trace your sidewall, right? As opposed to going down behind you. Do it one more time. Breathe in, lift up. And exhale, circle back. Place your right hand on your right thigh, then switch to your left arm. Left arm just hangs down by your side. And reach your arm forward, up towards the ceiling, and down by your side. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Lift up, and circle. And the last time, lift your arm up, and exhale, circle. Place your left hand on your left thigh. Back to the right side. Right arm just hangs down. I'm going to turn this into a twist. Lift your right arm straight up towards the ceiling. When you circle it behind you, take your hand to your chair, hold on to it. Then your left hand to your right thigh and turn your chest towards the right side of your space. Breathe in. When you exhale, turn back forward towards the front and we'll switch to the other side. Lift your left arm over your head towards the ceiling. Circle it behind you. Hold on to your chair. Take your right hand to your left thigh. Lift your chest. Sit up tall. And on the exhale, just turn towards the left. Breathe in. When you exhale, turn back forward towards the front of your space. So just keep your hips right where they are with your hands on your thighs. Now just your right shoulder will move. Lift your right shoulder straight up towards your ear. On exhale, take it back down. Switch to the left side. Breathe in, lift your left shoulder. Then lower it. One more time, both sides. Breathe in, lift your right shoulder. Lower it down. Then switch, lift your left shoulder and lower it down. Now both shoulders, breathe in, lift, shrug both shoulders towards your ears, and on the exhale, take them back down. Do that one more time. Breathe in, straight up, lift, and exhale, release. Now shrug your shoulders towards your ears, then take your shoulders back. So shoulder circles rolling towards the back. I'll just turn so you can see that back and down. Do it again. Breathe in, lift. Exhale, circle back and down. Nice. Reverse the circle. So take your shoulders back first. Then lift towards your ears. Maybe crawl your fingers forward as you take your shoulders forward and down. One more time. Pull back. Lift. Walk your hands forward and lower. Nice. Now take your hands to your chair. So we're going to stand up and do some things while we stand. So while you stand up, you can just stand in front of your chair if you want to. If you prefer to stand on the side of your chair, that's fine too. I'm going to stand in front of my chair. And look down at your feet and just walk your feet open a little bit. So not too wide, but just so that your hips are right in line with your knees, right in line with your lungs. So not too much distance, maybe 4 or 5 inches apart. Then with your arms down by your sides, lift your chin towards the ceiling. Let the back of your head fall behind you. Lift your head back through center. Now take your chin towards your chest and maybe feel a stretch on the back of your neck. Again, lift your chin, look all the way up towards the ceiling. And exhale, chin towards your chest. Nice. Lift your head back to center. Stay right here. Look over your right shoulder. And come back to center and switch. Look over your left. One more time, turn your head over towards the right. And back towards the left. Bring your head back to center. Now take your hands on your hips. And sway your hips side to side, so towards the left and towards the right. And this doesn't have to be a whole lot of movement, right? It could just be really small as you shift weight to the sole of one foot more so than the sole of the other. So when your hips sway towards the left, you have more weight in your left foot than you do on your right. And then come back to center and sway towards the right. Just back and forth, right and left. Yes, and then bring your hips back to center, and we'll start to make a little bit different movements with your hips. So just think that you're going to make hip circles with your pelvis. So take your pelvis and push it over towards the right. Now circle it forward towards the front, over to the left, and then back behind you. Again, circle to the right, forward, left, and back. Now reverse the circle. So take your hips over towards the left. Forward to the right and back. Do that circle one more time to the left, forward to the right and back. And then bring your pelvis back to center, so just underneath your hips. So before we do this movement, I want you to think about the shape of it in your mind's eye. So you just see it first before you try to do it. So it's like a figure 8 shape, or an infinity symbol, if you love math. Okay? I'm going to step your feet a little bit wider than your hips this time. Right? And then push your hips towards the right and then towards the back. And then circle your hips through center and up towards the left, to the side, to the back, and then to the right, come forward and back. So you crisscross through the center. Don't even think about it too much, right? Just imagine this figure 8 symbol underneath your pelvis, and you just want to trace it with your pelvis. All right. And the speed of this movement doesn't really matter. So you could go slow if you like. You could move faster if you want to. Now try to reverse that. So once your hips are front and left, then come back towards the right, circle around to the front on the right, and then back to the left. Right? And then as you reverse this movement, notice if you have to think a little bit more about this direction, or if it comes just as easily as the first direction that you took. All right, and begin to slow that movement down, and then we'll meet back at center. When you meet back at center, you're going to keep your hands where they are and just push your hips forward towards the front. And then come back to center. Stay where you are. Turn towards the side. So when you see it from the side, you can either keep your hands on your hips, or I really like to take fists to the top of my buttocks, right? And then with the force of my fist, just push your hips forward towards the front. And then come back. And so we're going to add a little bit of movement to this. So when you push your hips forward for this third time, you choose if you want to stay here and just be still, or if you prefer to take your hips and sway your hips side to side. We'll meet back in center. Pull your hips back, lift your shoulders so that your shoulders, hips, and ankles stack right on top of one another. Your feet will stay wide. And just take your palms together to touch, lace your fingers in front of you. And lift your arms over your head towards the ceiling, and with your right hand, just pull your left arm over your head so that you reach towards the right, and you might feel a stretch on the left side of your body. Come back to center and switch. Just reach up and over towards the left. And do that one more time through center. Hold on to your hands, just pull towards the right. And I'm back to center and to the left. And then come back to center and take your arms, put your arms down by your sides. You can hold on to your hips and walk your feet a little bit closer towards one another. So this will be a little bit of challenge to your balance. And I root into your left foot, bend your right knee. You could come up on your right toe. So I'll scoot towards the side of my chair so that you can see my feet. All right. Could stay with your right toes down on the ground, but if you want to, just get light on your toes. You could lift them away and then put them back down. And lower the sole of your right foot back down towards your floor, and notice how your left leg feels after that. Root into your right foot. You'll bend your left knee. And you just keep your left toes down on your floor, and start to notice how you feel the muscles in your right leg turn on in order to keep you in this balance. Left toes can stay down on the ground. If your chair is by your side and you want to hold on to it, you can. You're going to lift your left toes and touch them back down towards your floor. All right, and then lower the sole of your left foot down towards the ground. I'm going to add on a little bit to that. So back to the right side. Bend your right knee. Keep your toes on the ground. Just lift your heel away from the ground and turn your right knee towards the side. All right. When you turn your right knee towards the side, notice if you just push your left hip towards the left side of your space, try not to do that, right? Just hug back up and in. Stay right here. You could rest your heel on your ankle if you want to. Turn your right knee back to center. Lower the sole of your right foot down on the ground. And we'll switch sides. Bend your left knee. Again, hands can stay on your hips if you want to, or you touch your chair. Open your left knee out. Could stay here or rest your heel on your right ankle, and again squeeze on the outside of your right hip so that your pelvis stays level with the ground. And turn your left knee back to center. Lower the sole of your left foot down towards the ground. Then walk in front of your chair, and once you come to the front of your chair, then we'll meet back in a seat. Now have a seat on your chair and scoot your hips towards the back. So you might feel like the soles of your feet lift away from the ground like mine do, but that's okay. And take your right arm and reach it towards the side of your space, right? So the right arm is just parallel with the ground. Your palm can face forward. You'll take your left hand and reach your left hand towards your right hand. Maybe it reaches, right? Maybe and touches, but maybe it doesn't, right? Palms don't have to touch. And then pull your left arm and open up. And do it again. Just reach towards your right hands. Hands probably won't touch one another. Keep your knees forward, your hips still. Open your left arm. And lower your hands back down towards your thighs. You're going to switch sides. So left arm reaches out. And take your right hand and reach towards your left arm, your left hand. Maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. And then again, pull your right arm open. Just turn your chest forward, some gentle twists. All right, reach your right arm towards your left hand. And then come back to center, reach your right arm out, lower your hands down, and just place your hands on your thighs. All right, we're going to start with your left arm. All right, so you'll bend your left elbow, take your right hand underneath your left elbow, and with your right hand, just lift your left arm towards the ceiling. And keep a bend in your left elbow and take your left arm behind your head. Stay right here and notice if you feel a stretch on the back of your upper arm. And help your left arm back down. And place your hands back on your lap. Then you'll bend your right elbow and take your left hand underneath your right elbow. With your left hand, just help your right arm up and over your head. So just sweep your forearm behind your head, pull back with your left hand. And then gentle, just release that and take your right arm back down towards your lap. So we're going to add on to that. We'll do it again first, side to side, and add on. You'll bend your left elbow with your right hand underneath your left elbow. Help your arm overhead. Again, left forearm behind your head. Maybe this time you press the back of your head into your forearm so you sit up a little bit taller. And help your left arm back down. But when you do, you're going to take your left arm across your chest. You can use your right hand on your left arm just to pull it across your chest and keep your chest forward towards the front. So try to resist the urge to turn towards the right. You're going to stay forward. Just the left arm crosses. Bring your left hand and put it back down on your lap. Same thing with the right side. With a bend in your right elbow, left hand underneath it. Help your right arm over your head, reach back. Press the back of your head into your forearm. And when you take your right arm back down in front of you, take your left hand, slide it onto your arm like towards your wrist, and help your right arm cross over your chest. Slow release your right arm. Place your hands back down on your thighs and just stay right here. So we'll stay here in stillness for just a few moments so that you can notice how you feel, especially across the upper part of your body. So around your shoulders, around your upper arms. With your hands on your thighs, just let your arms just be heavy. Without any effort, just let your arms be where they are. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose. And open mouth, exhale. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Lift your head through center, switch. Left ear to left shoulder. Bring your head through center. One more time to the right. Through center and to the left. And center. Now neck rolls. We've done this before, so right ear to right shoulder. Turn your chin down towards your chest. Circle your head over towards the left. Then lift your nose, look towards the sky. One more time to the right, forward, to the left, and back. Reverse the circles, left ear to left shoulder, chin towards your chest. Now circle to the right and back. One more time to the left, forward, and all the way around to the back. Bring your head back to center. Stay right here. And take your feet forward with your hands on your chair and scoot your body forward so that the soles of your feet touch the ground all the way. Now lift your right heel away from the ground, right? So just your toes touch your floor. And then lower your right heel back down. And then switch to the left side. Just lift your left heel away. And lower it back down one more time to the right side. Lift. And lower. And then to the left. And lower. Now you can hold on to the sides of your chair, and you can even cup your fingers underneath the sides of your chair so that you have like a stable base, right? And a steady hold. Take your right leg and sweep your right leg forward towards the front. So your right leg is straight. Bend your right knee and put your foot back down on the ground. And then switch to the left side, left leg straight, and just lift your foot away from the ground. Bend your knee, place your foot down. You're going to add on a little bit of movement, so hold on to your chair. Again, lift your foot. Circle your right ankle. Reverse the circles if you like. Be still with your right ankle, then bend your knee and lower your foot and switch to the left side. Left leg lifts. Circle your ankle. While you do this, notice what happens around your abdomen. Whether you feel engagement or you don't, because we'll compare it to the next movement. Will you try to do this without the help of your hands on your chair? Now be still with your left ankle, bend your left knee, and lower your foot down towards your floor. So you choose if you want to keep your hands on your chair because that makes you feel more stable. Otherwise, you'll take your hands together to touch at heart center. You can either keep your fingers to touch, or you could lace your fingers with one another if you like. Now try to stay with your spine still. And send your right leg forward, straighten your right leg, right? Stay right where you are. So with your right leg straight, feel it if you lean back. Try not to do that. So sit up tall and notice if your abdomen engaged in order to keep you upright. Then bend your right knee and put your foot down on the ground. And switch to the left side. Lift your left foot. Spine stays still. Shoulders still over your hips. Maybe you actively firm your belly, hold it, breathe in. And on the exhale, lower your left foot. I'm going to add the ankle circles too. So you choose if you want to keep your hands where they are, or if you prefer to touch the sides of your chairs and hold on to them. Straighten your right leg. Circle your right ankle. Be still with your right ankle, bend your knee, lower your foot, and straighten your left leg. Upper half of your body stays still, right? Then circle your left ankle around and around. Be still with your left ankle, bend your knee, and lower your foot down towards your mat or your floor. Then take your hands back to the sides of your chair. Stay right here and hold on to it. So the right leg, lift your right foot away from the ground. So it's okay here if you lean back a little bit. that's allowed, right? Lift your foot. You'll notice the more you lean back, you can probably lift your foot a little bit higher away from the ground, and then sit up and lower your foot back down. Switch to the left side. Lift your left foot away from the ground. You could round your spine forward if you want to, and then lower your left foot back down towards the ground. Now back to the right side. Bring your right knee in, stay right here. You can keep your hands right where they are, or you could take your hands around your shin and pull your knee a little bit closer. And release your hands and control the lower of your right foot down towards the ground. And then the left side. Lift your left foot. When you do, take your hands around your shin. And again, if you have this rounded spine, that's perfectly fine. It probably feels good, this back stretch. Right. And lower your left foot down towards the ground. All right. Now on the right side, so we're still forward on your chair. You can hold on to the sides of your chair, so it's just going to take some movement with your legs. But think of this movement at the hip socket, right? So you'll lift your right foot away from the ground. Now with your right knee, try to make circles. And as you make circles with your right knee, you could reverse the circles. You could make full circles, or you can make semicircles, right? Just whatever feels right on your hip. Lower your right foot down towards the floor and switch to the left side. So left foot lifts. And again, if you bring your shoulders forward, that's fine. It's totally fine. Just circle your left knee around. All right. Be still with your left hip, lower your left foot down towards the ground. You might feel like, ooh, that feels like a little tiring in your legs, because your muscles have to actively engage in order to keep your foot away from the ground and to make those movements. So a little bit of strength practice built into these movements. So keep your hands right where they are. Lift your right foot away from the ground, and then just cross your right leg over your left. So we're just going to stay in this seated cross-leg position, and then take your shoulders forward and round your back. Just let your forehead or your chin hang in front of your knees. Another back stretch. And breathe in, lift your chest, come up to a seat. Uncross your right leg from your left. And switch, lift your left foot away from the ground. Cross your left leg over your right. Round your back, fold forward. And lift your chest, come back to a seat. Uncross your left leg and place your left foot down on the ground. So I'm going to do that one more time, but this time I'll give you the option to use your hands to help move your leg if that feels better. So you will lift your right foot away from the ground, and if you need help, take your left hand underneath your right thigh. You can take both hands if you want to and help your right leg to cross over your left. Hands back on your chair, round your spine, just fold forward. And then when you come to this fold forward, if you want to take your arms down and just let your arms hang towards the ground, do that. Place your hands back on your chair and lift your chest and come all the way up. Either uncross your legs or help your right leg to uncross from your left. And on the left side, lift your left foot. Maybe take your right hand under your thigh or both hands. Help your leg to cross. Breathe in. Hands back on your chair to start. Exhale, round forward. Just stay here with your hands, or take your arms. Just let your arms be heavy. Place your hands back on your chair. help yourself all the way up to a seat. And when you do, uncross your left leg from your right. Now just scoot your hips even more forward towards the front of your chair so that you're on the front edge of your chair, but you still feel stable, right? Walk your feet out. So your feet are a little bit wider than your hips. You can hold on to the back or the sides of your chair or right by your hips if you want to. And you just take your knees and sway your knees to one side and start towards the right. And come back to center and sway your knees over towards the left. And come back to center and again sway your knees towards the right. And then back to center and over towards the left. All right, bring your knees back to center. Now we'll add on a little bit to that. So turn your knees over towards the right. And so take your left knee so that your left knee just points towards the ground. So it can either point straight down towards the ground or it might be like pointing at a diagonal. And either way is fine, it doesn't matter. And then take your palms together to touch and lace your fingers in front of you. And then reach your arms out towards the right side of your room and lift your arms over your head towards the ceiling. The lower half of your body stays the same. Just create a back bend. Lift your heart, look up towards your ceiling. And come back to center. Arms stay straight, just reach forward. Then bring your hands back in towards your chest. Bend your elbows. Come back to center. And turn your knees over towards the left. Again, right knee might point straight down towards the ground. You'd have to walk your foot back. Or it could point forward, again, at a diagonal. Keep your fingers laced in front of you. Reach your arms forward so they're straight. Over your head towards the ceiling and create a back bend. Lift your heart, lift your chin. Just take your hands forward, arms stay straight to start. Then bend your elbows, pull your hands in towards your chest and turn forward towards the front. Place your hands back on your thighs. Round your spine forward, shoulders in towards your belly. Tuck your chin in. Then pull your hands back, bend your elbows by your sides, lift your heart, lift your chin, look all the way up. And one more time, round and curl. Slide your hands away from you. And pull back with your elbows by your sides. Just lift your chest, lift your chin. Come back to center, stay right here. Take your arms by your sides. Just let your right arm reach towards the ground so you feel a side bend on the left side. Maybe you feel stretch, right? Come back to center and switch. Just let your left arm reach towards the ground. And then we'll meet back in center. With your hands on your thighs, scoot your hips closer towards the back of your chair. Rest the back of your rib cage on the back of your chair, and you're going to take your palms to touch. Just hold your hands in your lap and either close your eyes or look towards your floor. And for the next few breaths, just feel your hips, your thighs as they root into your chair. And the soles of your feet as they touch and connect with the floor. And your shoulders and your skull as they pull back so that they stack right on top of your hips. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Do that one more time. Deep breath in and breath out. And then blink your eyes open. Namaste. Thank you so very much. Again, my name is Monica Bright, and I'm happy to offer these chair yoga classes with you on Wednesdays with the 19th Ward office and with all